Good morning. You're listening to The Brief Wake Up, your mindful start to the day. I'm Handel, your daily coffee companion, helping you wake up informed, thoughtful, and maybe a little amused before the day gets old. If you're commuting, quarreling kids, or standing in line for caffeine, you're in the right place. Let's get you caught up. We'll start with what matters most: your health. Toxic receipts. Here's something you probably touched this morning without thinking twice. That little slip of paper at the end of your coffee order. You know the one. The paper receipt that multiplies in your wallets like rabbits. Turns out, it might be doing more than cluttering your bag. Most store receipts are printed on thermal paper, that shiny, slightly waxy kind. It doesn't use ink, it uses heat and a chemical coating that turns black when printed. That coating often contains bisphenol A or bisphenol S. They're known as BPA and BPS. The same endocrine disrupting chemicals linked to hormone imbalance, increased risk of hormone sensitive tumors such as breast, prostate, or ovarian, fertility issues, and fetal development problems. They can cross the placental barrier, with studies suggesting in utero damage to reproductive organs and neurodevelopment. So maybe it wasn't the Tylenol after all. On a more serious note, here's a part most people don't realize. Those chemicals can be absorbed through your skin, especially after using a hand sanitizer or lotion when your pores are wide open. If you're a cashier, barista, or retail worker handling hundreds of receipts per day, that exposure quietly adds up. Studies have shown measurable BPA levels in people who handle receipts regularly, sometimes even higher than from canned foods or plastic bottles. Some stores have switched to so-called BPA-free paper, but many use BPS, which isn't much safer. So quick takeaway: skip the printout when you can. Ask for an email or text receipt. And if you do take one, don't crumble it up, don't stash it next to your sandwich, and wash your hands before you eat. Less paper, less clutter, less chemical exposure. A small modern act of self-care. Headline news: Hurricane Melissa. Big story this week. The storm named Melissa is gaining force, and the worst may still be ahead. According to the National Hurricane Center, Melissa has already surged to a Category 5 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of greater than 165 miles per hour. The island of Jamaica is now in the crosshairs. Authorities warn of life-threatening storm surge, catastrophic rainfall, and flooding, especially in low-lying areas like Kingston. Forecasts call for 15 to 30 inches of rain, with local peaks up to 40 inches in mountains. Complicating matters, Melissa is moving slowly, which means prolonged exposure, not just a quick hit. That slow crawl raises risks of extended wind damage, long power outages, flash floods. And in response, Jamaica has activated over 900 emergency shelters and issued compulsory orders for high-risk zones including Port Royal. International airports are closed island-wide. Neighboring islands such as the southeast of Cuba, Hispaniola, i.e. Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and the Bahamas could all feel Melissa's tail effects. If you're in these zones, I hope your emergency kit, batteries, charger, water is ready. Review your evacuation plan and stay tuned to local alerts. Because storms like these don't respect us, but we should respect them by preparing. Tech and culture. Ambient burnout. Ever notice how even your downtime doesn't feel like downtime anymore? The moment your brain starts to quiet down, a notification buzzes, an email pings, someone messages, "Hey, quick thing." It's not one big crisis that wears us out, it's the constant hum. Researchers call it ambient burnout. The exhaustion that builds not from one huge deadline, but from never fully powering down. Unread messages, late night pings, and the quiet pressure to stay visible. They are like sparks on the grass, each one harmless alone, but together they keep your nervous system slightly on fire. Psychologists say this low grade, always on mode tricks the brain. You never fully get rest because part of you is still waiting to respond. That's why you may feel tired even after sleeping. Your mind never truly closed yesterday's tabs. The fix isn't deleting every app, it's adding small speed bumps between you and the noise. Turn off notification previews, delay messages that can wait, create digital quiet hours, no alerts after 9 p.m., no email checks before your first sip of coffee. Silence isn't the absence of connection, it's the space where you can actually hear yourself again. And now, for our big sip. Here's your thoughtful pour for the morning. The sunken cost fallacy. That's that little voice that says, I've already invested this much time, I can't stop now. Or, I've spent too much money to quit. It's a quiet guilt that whispers, you owe it to the past to keep going. We do it all the time. With jobs that drain us, relationships that don't grow, projects that lost their spark months ago. We do it with subscriptions we never use, and gym memberships we keep just to feel like we haven't given up. But here's the truth. Those hours, those dollars, that effort, they're already spent. They don't owe you anything, and you don't owe them either. Economists call this a fallacy because it's the most human kind of mistake, believing that the past effort should dictate the future. But logic says only the future can justify the next step. If it's no longer bringing value, growth, or peace, then staying isn't loyal, it's inertia. Sometimes quitting isn't failure. It's refusing to keep paying for something that has already cost enough. And maybe the real act of courage is letting go before the math forces you to. The lighter roast. This is a good topic. Who pays? The eternal debate. So, the check lands, and suddenly everyone's performing math, manners, and micro expressions all at once. You can almost hear the internal dialogue. Do I offer? Do they expect me to offer? Should I pretend to reach? Are they pretending to let me? It's the most polite standoff in modern life. Here's the modern rule of thumb. If you invited, you pay. If it's a date, whoever initiated should at least offer. And the other should generally reach for their wallet. Not the fake reach, the T-Rex arm hover, a real credible reach. Because the check isn't just paper, it's a social test. It's not just about the money, it's about intention, effort, and reciprocity. In dating, splitting the bill isn't always about equality. Sometimes it's about clarity. It says, we're both here because we want to be, not because the other person owes us dinner. But context matters. If one person clearly earns more, or picked the expensive place, or insisted on treating you, then let them. Gracious acceptance is also good manners. For those wondering if it's still chivalrous for men to pay, sure, it can be, but only if it's paired with respect, not control. Generosity should feel warm, not transactional. And ladies, if you didn't pay this time, surprise them next round. generosity goes both ways. Now, amongst friends, the same rule applies. Split cleanly or take turns. Predictable generosity beats performative fairness every time. Because nothing ruins a good meal faster than a bad vibe at a table, especially someone calculating the tip like it's a not hostage negotiation. And please don't let that person be you. Now for commemoration, October 28th, where we take the opportunity to remember the struggles of the past, what's important about the present, so we can walk into the future. First up, today is International Animation Day, celebrating the art and imagination of moving pictures, a nod to the first public animation screening in 1892. From that we got Hanna-Barbera, Disney, and Pixar. Oh, how our childhood and children give thanks for this human invention. It's also a National Chocolate Day in the US, because apparently we needed another reason to justify that second square of dark chocolate. And please don't let the kids find out what today is. And in Greece, today is Ojai Day, commemorating the country's defiance of fascist occupation in 1940. This literally translates into the Day of No. This national holiday in Greece celebrates specifically when the Greek Prime Minister Metaxas rejected Benito Mussolini's ultimatum to allow Italian troops to enter Greece. This led to the Greco-Italian War. Small or large, every no that protects your freedom is worth remembering. In our final pour, whether it's receipts, relationships, or routines, not everything you hold on to is harmless. Sometimes letting go is the healthiest move you can make. That's your final pour. Mandel, be curious, be kind, and top off that cup. Till next time.